Do you have tiles in your home that you hate? And the disruption of ripping them out and the cost of replacing them is something you don't even want to think about. Well, guess what? Your fairy godmother, Cara, is here with a magic solution. Give your bathroom, kitchen, or laundry room tiles a gorgeous refresh without the nightmare. And believe it or not, your space can be back to normal within a weekend. Pop in your earbuds and let's dive in. Welcome to the Daring Home Decor podcast. Are you tired of playing it safe with your interior design? Are you overwhelmed with choice and just want simple steps to pull off cohesive and unique decor? I'm your host, Cara Baker, virtual interior designer and bold decor coach. I'll help you get brave, find your style and create a home with pizzazz. So grab your paintbrush, put on those overalls and let's get decorating. Welcome to the podcast. I hope you're well. As I'm recording this episode, spring is in the air here in the UK and I love it. Today is the last in the Bold Weekend Project series and it's all about how you can carry out a magic stick-on tile makeover, which is a real stress-free alternative to the real thing. When we redecorated our laundry room, which is a couple of years ago now, I really hated the tiles that we'd chosen when we originally renovated the house. They were basically plain grey tiles. They were just so boring and I had plans for the room to add colour and pattern and I just knew that these tiles were going to ruin the whole thing basically. So I thought about replacing them. I spoke to Andy about it, who is the builder, and we quickly realised just how much disruption and cost there would be to replace the tiles. We'd have to get the washing machine and the tumble dryer out of the room. It would affect pipes that we've got going into the washing machine, etc. Obviously, all the dust, the cost, I just didn't even want to think about it. So I had to try and come up with an alternative that would still leave me with the decor vibe that I wanted, which was the next best thing. And I ordered some terrazzo style stick-on tiles from Shein, I think it was I got them from. They weren't very expensive, although when you do end up ordering a lot of packs, it does end up coming to more than what you originally planned. But hey-ho. Yeah, I planned it all out and I stuck them on in a weekend. I've got plenty of reels on my Instagram account showing me doing this, showing the before and after, a time lapse of me sticking them on. And they did actually make such an amazing difference to the space. Believe it or not, I probably wouldn't have actually realised this myself either. But when I looked at the before and after pictures, the plain floor actually looks smaller than the patterned floor. You wouldn't think that, would you? You would think, oh, you know, the busier and more colour it is, the smaller the space is going to look. But it actually had the opposite effect. So go on over and have a look at them. I will, of course, as always, if you're part of my email list, you will have a visual when you would have probably already got the email promoting this episode, so you would have seen that also in the Facebook group too. But if you're not part of my email list, then why aren't you? Get on along there and do that. Or alternatively, you can have a scroll through my Instagram account, which is Daring Home Decor, and see if you can spot some of the laundry room reels on there. And when I had the vision for my laundry room and how I wanted it to look, I didn't let the fact that we couldn't stand the disruption of replacing the tiles hold me back. I was determined to move forward with creating a home that I loved and I didn't want to compromise any more than I needed to. I hope you're with me, and if for any reason there's something holding you back, then I want to encourage you to find a way forward. Be honest, is fear of getting it wrong holding you back? Or are you just plain not even going there because you have no clue where to start? Either way, you deserve a space that makes you happy. And sometimes the only thing standing between you and a home you love is just a little bit of support and a clear plan. When my clients decide to invest in themselves, they get just that. It's there for the taking whenever you're ready at daringhomedecor.co.uk/digital decor kit. So I've found a way to avoid the cost, mess, disruption and the dread of living in chaos. And if this is something that you fancy having a go at, then stay tuned because I'm going to explain exactly how you can do this too. Traditional tiling is so overwhelming, and even for me as an interior designer, and even for Andy, my husband, as a builder, the thought of it is just like, oh no. When you think about the money that it costs, tiles really aren't cheap at all. The time, it's not something, maybe it can be done in a weekend. It depends on the space or the area, but it can take a lot of time. The dreaded dust. And also decisions, what size do you want, what grout is going in there, etc., etc. And can I just say, if you are ever having anything tiled in the winter and you've got someone in there doing the tiling, when we renovated our house, even though Andy is a builder, but he's not an expert in every single aspect. So he's not the best at tiling. So he's got subcontractors that he uses to, if ever needs any tiling done, to get the tiling done for him. And we had some guys doing the tiling when we was renovating our house, and I'm not kidding you, they left my bloody front door open for hours on end and I was freezing. So there's another reason why I don't have to want to go through that again. And that's the reason why stick-on tiles, they're temporary, they're such a game changer, and you can get just an instant bold update. I absolutely love them. So you might be asking, do they look cheap? Do they last? Are they actually easy to use at all? Well, I can answer from my own personal experience those questions. Do they look cheap? I don't think most people would know that they were stick-on. They would think they were actual real tiles. So unless you're going down there and really inspecting them, I don't think so, no. Do they last? Durability, well, our tiles are in our laundry room, which isn't a high traffic area of the home. So I couldn't say, I will probably say that if you're thinking about a high traffic area, then this probably isn't the best choice. But, a lot of areas in your home aren't high traffic. Or maybe if you absolutely hate the tiles and you're thinking of replacing them anyway at some point, then this could be just a temporary upgrade before you actually go and get the full-on tiles done. So it doesn't really matter if it doesn't last and it's not durable, but it will definitely give the space a transformation in the meantime. And are they easy to stick down? Well, fairly easy, I would say. Definitely a lot easier than laying new tiles. So it's something that anybody could give a go. So I'll just give you a quick step-by-step on how to add stick-on tiles to your space. You first need to think about the colour palette, the style, the patterns that you're looking for. If it's to go with a room that's already decorated how you want it, then look at the room as it is and see what kind of colours and patterns would go well with that room. If you're decorating the whole room, then obviously you've got to get yourself together a colour palette and a mood board. And if you need help with that, you've always got the option to grab yourself a digital decor kit. There are various places that you can buy stick-on tiles. Just give it a Google online. As I said, I got mine from Shein, and I think a few of the DIY stores also sell these too. An important thing that you need to make sure of is whichever stick-on tiles you're buying is that they're the same size as the tiles that you already currently have. This isn't always the case. Most tiles are kind of a standard size, and a lot of the stick-on tiles that you buy online are for smaller tiles, but I think some of the DIY stores do larger ones too. So just make sure that you've measured your tiles and you know you're buying the right size, because that it's not really going to work if the stick-on tiles are a different size to the tiles that you already have in situ. You need to measure the space and ensure that you've bought enough tiles or enough packs to cover the area that you want to. And then once you've actually got the tiles, you need to make sure you prepare the surface and make sure that you clean off any dirt or grease whatsoever to ensure the best sticking contact that you can get. What I actually then did with my laundry room was plan out where I was sticking the tiles. You will often get a pattern match, so you need to make sure that you're putting the right tiles next to each other to ensure that you've got a consistent pattern match, but that will obviously depend on which tiles that you've bought. So I laid it all out first, and I did the main bulk of the floor. So all the floor that had full-size tiles, I stuck all of those on first and left the edges till last. And to stick them on, I just simply peeled them off and used a tool that you stick vinyl wrap down with. So you can just buy them probably from any DIY store. They're plastic on one side and softer on the other, and you can just use them to make sure that you're sticking the tile down fully and getting rid of any air bubbles. And you also want to make sure that you line the tile up before you actually make contact and fully stick it down. I would also suggest getting yourself a knee pad for when you're doing this. I just got a little gardening pad that I'd got that you can kneel on. So yeah, your knees definitely do take a bit of a bashing doing this job. So make sure that you're protecting them. And then to do the edges, I did the same thing again. I got all the tiles and I laid them out, and where they needed cutting, for example, if there was half a tile or going round a corner or up an edge or any areas that were awkward, and I cut all the tiles to size with a Stanley blade. So I had it all planned out first of all, and then I stuck all the edging pieces on, and voila, it was all complete. So quick and so easy. And that small change really did totally shift the vibe of the room too. And this could be a really good project to do if maybe you were thinking of getting some bold tiles but didn't want to go to the expense and the disruption of that, only to find that you hated them or whatever. Well, using stick-on tiles instead could be that transition for you, where you can get an idea of how it's going to look or whether you're going to love it or not, without all the cost and disruption too. So there's a little tip for you. The benefits of using this hack is that you get an instant transformation without the stress or the financial hit, and it's just fun. There's less fear because obviously you're not really ripping up your tiles, and decorating your tiles with colour and pattern gives you a dopamine boost too. And not to mention the joy of seeing a room you used to avoid suddenly make you smile. And remember, this is reversible and totally doable in a weekend. So just to give you a quick recap, you don't have to live with tiles or any decor for that matter that you've fallen out of love with. Traditional tiling is expensive, messy, and a total upheaval. There's a smarter, easier way. Magic, quote unquote, stick-on tiles let you transform your space in a weekend with zero chaos. Choose the right size, colour and style for your space. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. If you've got a question about bold decor, want to share your own stick-on tile story, or just need a bit of encouragement, leave me a quick voice message on Speakpipe. I listen to every single one, and your message could inspire a future episode or help someone else take that first step. You'll find the link in the show notes, or you can go to daringhomedecor.co.uk/podcast. It would mean so much to hear from you. Well, that is a wrap, my lovely. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next Tuesday, where I can't wait to get creative with you in the next episode of the Daring Home Decor podcast. Put down your tester pot for 1 more minute. Come share your wins from this episode by leaving a quick review on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget, you'll find your next bold steps in the show notes. Meanwhile, you can get more interior inspo by joining my free community at facebook.com/groups/daring home decor. And until next week, stay daring.